4 years with a Tesla Model 3, or at least it will be in August. And it's technically been like multiple Model 3s, but nonetheless, 4 years of exclusively driving a Tesla as my do-it-all car. And when people ask me what it's been like, I tend to take a more relaxed approach of, I'll talk about a few things I like and then I'll leave it at that. I don't try to like bombard them with just a ton of information, really trying to beat the Tesla owner doesn't shut up about their car allegations. But not in this video. In this video, I am going to be that Tesla owner that doesn't shut up about their car and talk about all of my favorite features and just reasons as to why, despite me being a pretty big like performance gas car fan, I keep coming back to the Tesla. So the first two reasons both have to do with the way that it just rewires your brain. The first one is maintenance. You just don't ever really think about it. Everyone knows that on a normal car, you have maintenance and some things you got to take care of, once every few years, every 6 months, 3 months, whatever it might be. Oil changes, oil filter changes, brake pads, got to swap your brake rotors, spark plugs, your 12-volt battery, just not that you necessarily have to replace it, but you got to pay attention to it, so on and so forth. Whereas with a Tesla, you don't have any of those like at all. And when it comes to your 12 volt on at least if you get a newer one, it's actually a 16 volts and it's a lithium ion. So you'll probably never have to actually change it. There isn't zero maintenance on a Tesla. There are some things, but when it comes to frequent maintenance, like, getting that oil changed every 3 months or whatever it might be, that type of maintenance doesn't really exist on a Tesla. So yes, I am saving money not having to deal with those frequent maintenance upkeep tasks, but not having to remember to like stop and like have those things done or having to put a sticker in my windshield telling me that it's time for an oil change, in my opinion, is worth even more than the money saved. The money saved is nice though, I'm not gonna lie. Speaking of saving money, Test Stuff's Father's Day sale starts today. 15% off everything using code DAD25. All other floor mats, including our new Model Y Juniper ones, screen protectors, organizers, sunshades, literally everything. As for pre-orders and back orders, those are shipping in July, but the discount code can still be used on them. Teststuff.com, code DAD25 for 15% off. As for number two, it's same thing about just not having to think about it, reasoning. Charging or just how you fuel up the car. No more gas stations. No more having to remember to leave a little early for work or stop late at night on your way home from work. I was always a stop on the way home from work kind of guy, just in case something like emergency in the middle of the night happened. I didn't want to have to like stop and get gas. How long does it take to charge is a pretty common question that I get. In fact, it's like one of the first questions I always get. And like I mentioned earlier, like I don't want to overload people with information. So I'm not really too sure how to answer it. I typically ask them, do you mean like home charging or do you mean supercharging? Most of the time it's people referring to supercharging because like they assume it's like a gas station. You got to stop every few days and fill up. And at that point, I'll tell them how long I would typically spend at a supercharger. But then I kind of explain that I don't really use superchargers, and most people that I know with electric cars don't either, as you just kind of get home charging and you just plug in when you get home and you just forget about it. Which if you don't currently own an electric car may seem kind of weird, like you don't really think about charging, but it really is something that you'll understand once you've lived with one. Honestly, I think other owners can vouch. Once you kind of get settled in and you know your car can do your commute, you'll probably glance at your battery level maybe a few times a day. So yeah, the fuel savings is great, especially if you live in a state that has really cheap electricity like mine. It's like around $5 to fully fuel up, fully charge up. But not having to think about fueling your car, just how you make your car go, is even better. I actually recently saw an interview with, I think it was, funny enough, 2 Chainz. And he was like trying to describe like this exact thing where you don't, is that a wasp trying to get into my car? Hang on. Hey, buddy, why don't you stay out there? Good. Hang on, we'll be right back. And he was trying to describe this exact thing to someone. He was talking about his Cybertruck, and someone, of course, was trying to like, check him on owning a Cybertruck. He was like, dude, I don't care about any of that. All I know is that I don't have to stop at gas stations here. I just get in and it goes. Now, number 3, the constant software updates to look forward to. In years past, it was mainly just the Christmas update, but over the last, I would say like 2 years now, we've gotten multiple big updates throughout the year. The recent spring update, for example. Honestly, half of my like favorite software features were not a thing when I got my first Tesla back in 2021. Like almost all of them have been added in these big updates. And when you compare it to other cars, once you get them, it is kind of just a slow descent into outdatedness. This honestly probably hurts Tesla from a like owner upgrade statistic. I can only imagine, especially the type of people that buy Teslas, where you're probably a little bit more tech oriented. You're probably the tech support of your family if you're anything like mine. And if Tesla held the bigger, more requested features for new cars being sold, they actually probably would get quite a few people to upgrade just more frequently. These people that would normally upgrade somewhat frequently just don't really feel the FOMO or the need to upgrade, as well their current car is going to get all the new stuff too. Now let's talk about a huge one, right? I've preached this since day one. Your on-road situational awareness. Like, I've yet to be in another car that beats a Tesla. Like, the speed at which you can get information on your surroundings while you're in this car is astonishing. First are the cameras, having them up while you drive. I was actually really happy to see that they added a camera button to the steering wheel with the refreshes, because that was something I pretty much used all the time. Like, I drive with my cameras up, or I used to. I'll talk about it in just a second. You can see your left side, your right side, and the way that the side repeater cameras are positioned, you don't have a blind spot, along with a full rear view. Then right next to those cameras, digital world that Tesla is building around you. And that is another point of information, because if there's a car right next to you, you look on your screen, the car is going to be right next to you. And then lastly, we have the red signal that Tesla has introduced across their UI elements. The little blind spot in the like front pillar speaker for the new 3-in-Y, cross traffic alerts on the big rear view, and lighting up the blind spot camera when using your turn signal. The last one being an absolute lifesaver. Without getting too into it, the sun was setting in a weird way and my car was casting a shadow on the lane to my left, and I went to merge. There was a darker car there. I quickly turned on my turn signal, and I noticed, like, for a split second, I'm wondering why that there's a red indicator on my turn signal, because I cannot see the car. And then I quickly realized, wait, there's a car right there. And that red signal is what stopped me from like merging. I like held it for a second and I was like, oh wait, there's a car there. And since that happened, that's actually why I've stopped driving with my rear view cameras up, because the rear view cameras do not have that signal that pops up on your side repeater cameras. It's only when you turn your turn signal on that you'll get that. Apparently, the recent update that I actually got like today has an undocumented change stating that your turn signal will still turn on now and will have that red indicator even if your actual cameras are up. All right, now let's talk about the phone app and just how great it is. I've been meaning to make a like video deep diving into the app. I probably will once I get the Y. I've had a lot of videos just sitting on the back burner until I get the Y. But it's just one of those things that it is done so well that you kind of forget about it, which I think is really a testament to just how good the app is. If you're somehow unaware, you can essentially control the entire car from the app. And like, I mean control the car. I don't just mean the normal stuff that every car app can do. Like, if you have FSD, you can legit drive the car with the app. But yeah, you can live stream the cameras, right? You can view your dash cam, you can lock and unlock, you can climate control and precondition. The Tesla app is the best automotive app that has been made, hands down, and it's not even close. Like, there are other automotive apps that can do basic things, some that could even do a little bit more than basic things, some advanced things, but then you look at the app and the UI sucks and it looks like garbage. And we haven't even talked about the best part of the app yet, the phone key. You walk up with your phone on you in your pocket in your hand, right? You reach for the handle and it unlocks. Then you get out of the car, you walk away and it locks. No keys, no having your hands full and trying to get your keys out of your pocket, no stupid digital wallet key that you got to tap against the car. And as for the proximity, it's actually very accurate ever since they introduced the ultra wideband support. Like, if I'm rounding the front of the car and like the lady's trying to get in on the passenger side, it will not unlock. It'll actually trigger Sentry mode and it will not unlock until I am right next to my door. And speaking of that ultra wideband support, if you go back and watch some of my older videos, you'll hear me talk about how sometimes like my phone key just wouldn't work. It'd be kind of finicky. But ever since I got the new 3 that supports ultra wideband, I haven't had that issue a single time. And to top it all off, last year, Tesla introduced a native Apple Watch app that also supports phone key. And because like the newer Apple Watches have ultra wideband, it's like ultra wideband support as well. Next up is going to be the ability to just insert yourself into traffic and just how that makes you feel safer on the road. The instant torque and the ability that gives you to maneuver traffic, it just makes you feel safer. Like, it's very hard to try and describe it, but once you've kind of experienced it, then you'll know what I'm talking about. Like, if someone's about to merge into me, I can just mat it and there's like a 99% chance I'll be just fine. And like, you don't even need the performance to be able to do something like that, right? Because every Tesla has instant torque. And even the slow ones are fast by like normal car standards. No more cutting off semis. If you do have to do like a close lane change in front of a semi, you can just, as you're changing lanes, just floor it. And now you've given them tons of space to where they don't need to slam on their brakes. Getting up to speed on an on-ramp has never been easier. And just how smooth it is, right? Like, no more waiting for gears to change or having 2 gears like some EVs do. It's all just one smooth, continuous ramp. And finally, the attention, or just lack thereof attention that you get. Like, the entire Tesla lineup, excluding the Cybertruck, they're all very understated designs. Like, they look like normal cars, except like I just said, they're all pretty quick and they make no noise. Like, the ability for me to rip around town, like running errands or just whatever I need to do, and like no one bats an eye that I'm pulling to 60 out of like every turn or from every stoplight faster than a car that you'd be able to hear 2 miles away when they do it. I just love how inconspicuous that this car is in terms of like what it looks like versus what it can do. And don't get me wrong, I like loud cars. I was always a big M3 fan. Pretty much every Model 3 performance owner I know's wanted a M3 at one point, but just went with the Model 3 instead. I'm a big M4 guy now. I don't know what it is. I used to own a coupe. It was a Mustang, so I kind of have that itch for a coupe again. I really want an M4. Been thinking about buying an M4. I like Porsches, love the Turbo S, love the GT3s. My supercar brand is Ferrari. I love all that stuff, but when it comes to just my commute and just trying to get stuff done, right, throughout the week, weekends different, I'm taking the Tesla every time. And not just for the fact that it's inconspicuous. People don't really look at you, even though you're zipping around like crazy. Also, all the other things that we've just talked about. Not having to think about the maintenance and just getting out of that gas mindset. Your situational awareness and the speed at which you can become aware of your surroundings. The software updates to look forward to, and just, you know, you not getting FOMO to upgrade every year. Having an extension of your car like right on your phone, plus not having to carry keys. Those are really the reasons why I keep coming back to the Tesla for my daily driver. Now, if you've been an owner for some time and have other features, or just, you know, your favorite things about the car, what keeps you driving the Tesla, then let me know down in the comment section. If you are new around here and you want to see more Tesla related stuff in your YouTube feed, then feel free to subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.